Last episode, we got the Eclipse back from Frank's, having the 202 sensors put in, and our check engine light came back on, unfortunately. And we decided to clean up the engine bay while we waited to figure out what to do next, and put a door handle on the driver hand door. Then we found out that we need to send our title in back to Georgia because of that title issue there with the VIN number. And then after that, we went and checked on our camper that we haven't been to since the summer. Had to take out the batteries to go charge it, get that going. Then realized our tire was flat in our golf cart. Had to fill that up. Air was coming out, so we have to replace it. It never ends. Then we found a shop that we went to go look at, 3 bays with 2 lifts, and it was beautiful. Everything we needed. So hopefully we can make the deal. Then we had to go and get a VIN verification done on our Focus and send that to Georgia as well. And on the way back, we had a brake line leak. So it's been a long week dealing with talking to the title office in Georgia, getting the title for this Ford Focus. That is not fun, trust me. You never want to go through that. Still taking a long time to get that settled. Our check engine light came back on in the Eclipse, so now we're most likely looking at replacing the catalytic converter, which I was really hoping not to do because they are really, really expensive. I think $500 to $700. So we don't have the Eclipse is wrapped up besides that. The Ford Focus, I really don't want to put much more money into till we get the title, obviously. So right now it kind of leaves us with a little bit of time and a little bit of space in the driveway to hopefully go get something else, and maybe we can fix it up and sell that while we wait. Always on Marketplace looking for a great deal. And here's ones I've been finding a lot of. These 2012 to 2016 Ford Focuses are going for a steal. $1,200, $1,000, even $800. It's endless amount of deals out there on these Ford Focuses from 2012 to 2016. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar why. It's because of the faulty transmissions that Ford had stuffed in these bad boys. Common problems of these Ford Focuses are clutch actuator, transmission control module, the shift forks, the dual clutch, or just an internal failure altogether. Better hope it's one of those cheaper fixes, because look how much a used transmission is on one of these. Take a look at those numbers. That is crazy. And I mean, they're not even low mileage. They're over 100,000 miles, and they still want $2,000. People say they should have been bought back through the lemon law, but they're still on the road, and I see lots of them. So people are still buying them. They're still holding them. They're fixing them. So I feel like if we can grab one of these and get lucky, and hopefully maybe it's just a clutch actuator, maybe it's just a TCM, maybe it just needs a clutch relearn, or something like that, we could really make some money, because we could buy these things really, really cheap. Maybe we could sell for $5,000 to $6,000. I really like about these for the prices, a lot of these things come fully loaded, sunroofs, leather interiors, heated seats. I mean, you name it. These things have so many options. So for the price of $1,000 to $1,500, if you can get a simple fix on these, really flip this for a decent amount of money. Let's see if we could find one on Facebook right now. Found a pretty decent shape 2014 Ford Focus SE, leather interior. It's got the sport wheels on there, 140,000 miles on it, and the issue is right now it has no reverse. They're asking $1,000, but we're gonna see if we can do better than that. We got down $800. We just gotta drive 2 hours and tow it back home because there's no reverse. So we drove the 2 hours and we finally made it to the car. And well, a quick look around didn't look too bad. Well, it's a little damage on the fender there that they tried to cover up. Definitely dirty inside, and yeah, it at least it started up, so that was a plus. A little bit of rust down here. I don't know how the brakes are. I mean, brakes feel smooth, so we might be good there. A little dirty. Dirty. Got some rust too, rust down there. So, and then we need to clean this inside because it is atrocious. Just, ugh. Gotta put the fender liner back in, clean the headliner. We are going to plug our computer in and see what codes we got. So I did not know, looking for the OBD too, you actually got to pull this door down. That's different. Well, let's plug it in. Okay, so the only code we have is like for the catalyst system, so that's a little strange. Usually there's a code for the transmission fault. Well, that's actually not very good. I don't like that. Definitely need the detail. Look how disgusting. This is a 16-year-old car, and you can definitely tell. I mean, there's just dirt everywhere. Yeah, so definitely a clean. And no sunroof, unfortunately. See if there's any Ray-Bans. No Ray-Bans. So you just don't know. It's not a simple thing to diagnose, especially with no codes. We really have to look for it and test it out. But I think we can fix it. So I bought it for the $800, and then I had to tow it back home. So here's a tow truck, and let's get it back so we can start working on it. So we are all loaded up, and we're heading out. So we're headed home and start working on the Focus. So seriously, like, I can't make this stuff up. The AAA driver just called and said that, well, he pulled over and he called me and said that he just threw a belt on his truck. So he had to have another person come, unload the car off of his truck, put it on the other truck that's coming. So he said it'd be about an hour for them to get the other truck over there. So it'll be a delayed drop off for my car, which is okay, but it kind of sucks for him to be on the side of the road for at least an hour until the other truck gets there. But that's never happened. Now that we get the car back, the first thing to do is to do the adaptive relearn on the clutch, and we need ForeScan downloaded for that. And once it's downloaded, just have to wait about 30 minutes, it says, for them to send you your license key, and then you can start using ForeScan. And then I had to order my OBD Link X adapter right from Amazon. It was about 50 bucks. It wasn't too bad. Okay, in the meantime, waiting for our link to download the ForeScan, I went ahead and disconnected the battery because I did read in line that with all the electronics in the car that control everything, that sometimes an issue can be that your battery isn't sufficiently charged, so there's not enough power, so things just don't work well. I don't know, but I figure it's worth a shot. We are at 60%, but we'll give this some time while we get the link sent in for ForeScan. License, there we go. All right, got it, guys. I think we are in. All right, we are at 100% on our battery, so it's time to disconnect the charger, reconnect the battery, and now it's time to see if charging the battery worked. All right, now we got to reconnect the battery. All good to go. Now let's go for a test drive. All right, I don't have high hopes for this, but at least I want to start the easiest things, eliminate any issues we could have, so we know what exactly is going on here. Like I said, the next thing is the relearning process of the transmission. So let's give this a shot. Still feels a little weird, guys. I mean, it backs up. They said there's no reverse, but let's see what happens here. Okay. Well, that did not take long. And I was greeted with the dreaded message that any Ford Focus owner gets is the transmission is overheating. Wow, that did not take long at all. That was like 2 seconds. Okay, guys, here's the moment of truth. I got my laptop. I got my OBD Link X ForeScan connector. So we're gonna try this out. Okay, and this goes right in your OBD2 port, just like that. We're secured. All right, now we're just gonna turn the ignition to accessory to on. Okay, so now we have our ForeScan up. We're gonna go to here. Actually, so we're gonna go here. So you go to the I vehicle there, right there, and then we're gonna go all the way down to connect to vehicle. All right. So we should be connected. Oh no, that's not good. All right, let's try a different port. There we go. Let's try this again. So as you see down here, it says vehicle not connected. So let's turn this on and see if that changes. All right, guys, we're green. It's reading. It's reading. That is so cool. I've never done anything like this before, guys. So as you can see, we do have some faults here. Now let's go over to the wrench here. Let's go to TCM Adaptive Learning.
Now.
So we're gonna go to this little wrench guy here. Okay. We're gonna go to TCM Adaptive Learning. We're gonna press play down at the bottom. And we're gonna press OK. Okay. So we're gonna go to Perform Clutch Adaptive Learning. Press OK. Make sure transmission gear selector is in park. We're in park, right?
Yep.
Depress the brake pedal and hold, and we're gonna start doing it. Please wait 10 seconds. You can see it's. See, here's what it's doing is these touch points. It's adapting. Okay, we have an error there. Everybody who wants to do this, like I said, the plug is only $50 on Amazon, and you get 2-month free trial. Even though I think it's like the lifetime, if you want to buy, it's like $30, so it's not like too crazy. I'm curious of why this clutch touch point. I'm not sure about that. We'll have to look into that.
Kind of prefer old cars where you don't need a computer.
Okay. We turn the ignition on, but don't start it.
I like that it talks you through it.
Service procedure has been interrupted. Not exactly sure why. I'm not sure to give me any further command here or what.
Well, what's it doing on the screen over here?
It just says oil change required.
No, underneath it. The line.
It'll go away. Nah, there's nothing there. Okay, so that didn't really go as far as I was hoping.
Guess you're gonna have to Google what that means.
Well, it's giving me an error for wait 10 seconds. So that's, did I do, you know what? Oh, low battery, jeez. Sorry, okay. You know what? It said depress the brake pedal for 10 seconds, right? Well, I held the brake the whole time.
Well, yeah, that probably...
So maybe that was, okay.
Interrupted it.
Okay, so we're gonna give this another shot. Okay, so depress the brake pedal. I see it's already given me this.
Count to 10.
You hear that? Whoa.
That was weird.
Yeah, I didn't do it the last time, did it?
No.
What else see if they
Please
can hear
run
that.
the engine and keep it idle.
Okay, we're getting somewhere, guys. Okay. We'll press the accelerator to the floor so the engine regs. Wow, okay. So we're gonna go wide open throttle. I'm actually kind of scared to do this. Alright, you ready?
So long, Shed.
Let's go.
For how long?
Doesn't tell me. Okay, hey, we didn't get that far the last time. Okay, so the function will attempt to learn the engagement, travel both clutches by engaging direct drive, overdrive gears, ratios, and progressively engaging both clutch elements. Engine loader is monitored while the touch point is in progress. It's critical that the brake pedal be held constantly and the engine load remains stable. Release of the brake pedal varying load will result in adaptive learning failure. But we're not really, yeah, we're operating temperature. Electrical accessories turned off. Control the AC compressor not active during the routine. The case by touch. Right, depress the brake pedal and hold.
Alright, hit your pedal.
Okay, what's good though, these guys see, we might have gotten a couple of these, but we haven't got any red X's yet.
Yeah.
So I think that's good. Hear it? No, it's coming from there.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, gear shift on shaft A-okay. So I think these are just the actions, because you see performing, learning, and everything that's performing, learning, like an action, it gives you this. But then the results under that, these are like the tests, and then these are the results.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? So just because it's bad doesn't mean it's bad, it just means it's performing something. Okay, clutch point, learn, oh boy. Release the brake pedal. Find ignition off. Oh wait. It said following ignition off,
Yeah,
but
so you should have turned it off and then release the brake.
Let him do this.
Now release the brake.
Okay. So it's gonna reattempt, if you see, ForceScan will reattempt touch point adaptive. So we power down, so wait 45 seconds. But I mean, you see for the first one we did, it did a lot better, so I feel like maybe we did something wrong. But yeah, this is our first time doing this. I mean, this is, when have we done something like this?
Never.
Ever.
I like my cars without needing a computer.
This is pretty crazy for a Ford Focus, huh?
Yeah.
Long gone are the days where you hop in and just turn the key and it goes for 300,000 miles. And the body rusts out before the transmission does. Okay. Ignition is on. Okay, learn. Oh. Oh no. Will require drive cycle learners. Okay, so I guess we got somewhere.
So you have to drive it, is that what it's saying?
I think so. Vehicle require drive cycle learn as specified. Okay, we're gonna have to now go ahead and do that. So I'm hoping that we're getting somewhere with this vehicle. You know, maybe we just drive it. I'm gonna look this up though. It said the shop manual, but I think we're getting somewhere, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. All right, guys, I'm gonna go and just, I know it didn't look like the test or the adaptive learning had succeeded, but I just want to see if there's any difference that I can feel in the car driving it. So let's go check it out. Okay, now it feels like we have lost our reverse altogether. That's an issue. Yeah, this thing doesn't want to go. Tried the adaptive relearn with the clutch multiple times already. Obviously there's an error. It's not allowing it to finish the service. Our next step is to remove that bottom actuator and see if we could turn these forks by hand with this special Ford tool with a spline that we can turn them by hand. So I already ordered it on Amazon. It was about 12 bucks. It'll be here tomorrow. And then after we turn, you're supposed to turn it 10 times counterclockwise. Make sure it spins freely. And then what we're also going to do is we're going to swap the actuators, take the one from the bottom, put it out, or one from the top, put it on the bottom, and see if the issue reverses to and see if the issue changes. But in the meantime, how about we go wash the car and maybe give it a nice buff so it looks good. All right, it's supposed to be bad tomorrow, so right now is the perfect time to give it a wash. And after we washed it, it was time to buff it up and make it look like new. This is where it becomes really satisfying, is you take your first rougher rag, get all this top stuff off, then you take your microfiber and then get the rest of the remnants off. Okay, so that looks beautiful. Now you can definitely see the difference between that door and this one. I mean, this one just kind of foggy. Look at that. Foggy, clear. So we're gonna go ahead and do the rest of the car just like this, okay? All right, now both doors are done. It's coming along. It looks a lot better. Look how good those wheels look though. And another tip too is, see how this taillight, you can see the sun, it's got some swirls in it. It's not the best looking, a little dirty, but I always like to hit the taillights because just like the headlights, it just makes the car look so much more cleaner, makes it look newer. So it's worth it to take a couple seconds and just hit these taillights, so you'll see a difference. Okay, and the finished product. So here's how we're looking from the back. Look at that side. Okay, and a tip to make this plastic trim freshen up, hit that with the buffer too. I'll show you how good we can make this all look, okay? Look how good that looks. I mean, it brings it right back to life. Just gotta hit with the buffer just real quick. Alright, excuse me, look at the metallic flake in that paint. You can't see, but it's like a rainbow. It's like an oil rainbow. It is so cool. I couldn't see it till I started buffing it out. Alright, so we're gonna clean this disgusting interior up. Start wiping stuff down, get the leather cleaner, clean this stuff up, and see where we get. Alright, look at that. Alright, I mean, that seriously looks a ton better. After cleaning up the car, I decided to purchase a Carfax to see if I could find any dealer service records for this transmission so we can see what's already been done, hopefully making it easier to find our problem. But the only thing we could find are recall notices, but no actual repairs. So I can't see anything that shows that anything on this transmission has been serviced, even though they said they have had the clutches replaced, they've had the transmission rebuilt like twice, they've had the TCM, I think they said, replaced twice. I don't see any of it here. I see the recalls or the extended service announcements, but I just don't see here where it says any of that. So I don't know if we can just go off someone's word. I mean, we might have just go very thoroughly through this thing. So it could be where here says vehicle serviced. Okay, I'm gonna call this Jeff Drennan Ford first and see if they can tell me, what that service was on 10/23 and see what they say. So I called the Ford dealership. In the first service, they said that there was a transmission issue, and there was a engine, part of the engine wiring harness. It was rubbing by the intake. I guess was causing some transmission issues, so they repaired that. And then the other one was the catalytic check engine light, or the engine light for the catalytic converter. They told them need replaced, and that's what I figured when I got the light on there. So I'm gonna have to replace it. Even Ford said it needed to be replaced, so I got a free diagnostic on that. But yeah, they didn't tell me that part. So, but anyway, I mean, it's the least of our worries. I want to get the transmission fixed before I put a catalytic converter on it. So let's call G&M Automotive and see if they can tell us anything else that's been done. Okay, so I think we have a breakthrough. I called G&M Automotive, and they said that only one clutch actuator was replaced. He didn't know which one. So we're going to see. Okay, so the battery is still reading. It's back to reading 60% charge. So I mean, it looks like an older battery. I'm going to pull it out and see if there's a date on it. Because I did get a battery low light on the dash. So we're going to take this in. All right, so it took some wiggling to get it out from underneath the cowl there, but I was able to maneuver it. So let's see. Wow, 21. Okay, so it's 3 years old, right? So we're gonna get this thing tested. All right, so my fancy tool came. Not really fancy, $13, but yeah, the tool came. So later on, when I get back home, we're gonna turn those forks, and hopefully they all turn freely. Okay, now we do have the battery. It was charged. They said it was a good battery, AutoZone, so we're gonna put it back in. Okay, so I got the battery back in. We got our bracket on. So to be able to swap both the actuators, which I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna have to remove the air box so I can get to that one, put on the bottom on our B actuator, and see if we have a different result. And now you have a clear visual of the TCM, so at least it's not that hard to get to, I don't think, if we have to. But here's our actuator. So we just gotta I'm gonna get this out of the way right here, make it a little bit easier. Okay, so now our next step is to swap out the actuators and see if we get a reverse and see if the symptoms change. So let's see what happens. Okay, all the bolts are out of the actuator, so now I just had to do this clip and then I can pull it out. Okay, so here is our actuator. It goes in that little gear there, spins that. So let's get this unplugged here and then we'll swap them out. And when you're doing this, just make sure you push this yellow tab all the way down so that it can release the actuator. All right, and our clutch actuator is out. We're in there. It's just counterclockwise 14 times and then see if there's any resistance here. Time to move on to the next one. We're gonna get this all jacked up and get the other one out and swap these out. Cool. Okay, so our car is jacked up. Now, you can see that second actuator. So we're gonna pop that out, swap them. Okay. Now let's pop this bad boy out and see how it looks. Well, this one is, oh wow. It's like stuck. Okay, I got it free. There we go. Oh wow. I think this one looks newer than the other one. Okay, so it moved freely, so I think we should be good there with the forks then. I mean, they're moving easy. Okay, and we should be good to disconnect. There we go. So we're gonna look here. Obviously this has been the replaced one. This is the old one, I believe. Hoping that the B was, the bottom actuator is gonna be the old one. That would make sense, and that's why reverse isn't working. Because the B actuator is what I read that it controls the reverse. So, well, let's still do a test to see what happens. All right, and we are in. Okay, guys, let's put these bolts in. All right. Okay, so we're all clipped in, ready to go on that one, and then we'll do the same thing on the bottom. Okay. Clutch actuator B is now in. Just got to plug it up. All right, we're all set there. Now it's time to put the intake back on and start this bad boy up and see what happens. Okay. Time to put the air box in. Air box is in. Time to put this in. And then just reconnect the battery. All right, guys, well, it's all in. This should be interesting. Yeah, do the adaptive relearn on the clutches, so it recalibrates. So let's get in there with the laptop. Okay, and here's where we find out. It should say right here if we have an error or not. Yep. There it is. Time to try TCM. I'm back in the car. I didn't reset the DTCs, so we're gonna do that. I should have done that. Didn't think about it, but maybe that'll give us a different result. So let's plug it back in, reset the DTCs, and see if we get a different reading. Set the DTC. So let's see what happens. All right, let's hope for the best, guys. And boom. I'm really hoping this works and it shifts the issue to the A actuator. So we'll see. Okay, guys, here's the moment of truth. Yep, same result. So with the next step being a TCM, well, TCMs are over $300 new online, so I decided to go to Pull Apart and see if I couldn't find one. And I found a bunch. Okay, now time to take out the TCM and go get one, but we're gonna take this one out first, okay? The air box is out again. Now let's get to the TCM. All right, this is a workout trying to get this undone here. Whew. More access down there. I'm actually go ahead and remove this part of the intake. Okay, just like that, gives us a little more room. Okay, first one's out. Now you get that one down there. Okay. Well, as I was sitting there finagling that last clip on for the plug, I got a call about my Mitsubishi Eclipse. Guys, I have to tell you, I am selling the Eclipse. Got a really, really good offer on it, so I had to take it. Yeah, so I gotta go meet them right now around the corner. They already test drove it. They want to buy it. We negotiated a price, so she's gonna be gone, but it'll leave room for another project. So I'm gonna go get this sold, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Just made the deal. It was right around the corner, so I was able to put a license plate, get the cash, walk home. So pretty productive day, but I kind of miss her already. As you know, we spent a lot of time getting this car to where it was, from when it was towed to my house with no brakes when we first bought it for $900, to fixing it all up with everything we did, and then it got hit in a wreck, and well, we fixed it up after that too. And after I sold the car, it was time to get back to working on the Focus. Had to jack it up to get to the bolt down here. All right, that one's out. Guys, look how clean this is. Man, it's not leaking anything. Wow. That was pretty good underneath for 150,000 miles. Okay. There is our transmission inside. And here is our transmission control module. Make sure I get that O-ring up there. Should be in there still. Okay, let's get it off. There it is. Transmission control module. And now that we got the TCM out, it's time to go to pull apart and see if we can find one on the lot. So hopefully, I mean, there's 17 Ford Focuses of this year I'm looking for. So hopefully we can find one. Okay, so I'm at the pull apart yard. There's a lot of Ford Focuses here. But the goal here is there's 17 Ford Focuses in the year range I'm looking for. So I'm hoping that we can look at all the TCMs, see which ones look the newest, and we're gonna pull two, and hopefully we have a good TCM between the two that we pull from the 17 Ford Focuses that we look at the yard here. So, well, let's start looking at them. Okay, well, the transmission's kind of in there. Well, there's no TCM. Another one. TCM is gone. Here's one. Actuators in there, but no TCM. All right, and another one. Got actuators, no TCM. I don't know if we're gonna find a TCM here. This is crazy. I've looked at like 12 Focuses, and I still can't find a TCM. Like, I haven't found one. I found, I think, 2 actuators, no TCMs. I mean, the people are just taking these things left and right. I mean, it's crazy. Like, you think with 17 Ford Focuses you'd be able to find one. So I only got a few more to go, so we'll see if I can. Fingers crossed, this is our last row. So hopefully somewhere here we can find our TCM. And this car was our last chance. No. How can we not find one TCM? I mean, I was worried I was gonna pick a bad one, but I'm lucky if I even find one. Like, this is, I don't know. I mean, there's a pull apart in Akron, which is about a half hour from here. I really don't feel like driving out there, but I don't know, I might have to do it. Okay, so off to the other pull apart we are. So I was walking on pull apart, and look at this. This thing is nice. These are so cool. These Fiero GTs with the fastback, and it's stick shift. You can see there. Man, this thing is cool. Makes me want one. Eventually, hopefully soon, maybe I could buy a Fiero. I want a 3800 swap. Very cool. All right, second try. Here we are. Okay, and we are here. Okay, guys. Look. There's a TCM. All right, we're gonna pop this out. Okay, so I did notice, I've not seen it before. Clutch service update. Yeah, mine did not say that. Well, that worries me a little bit. So we do have a problem. I left some tools back at Pull Apart in Cleveland, and it was my 10-inch socket and ratchet, which is what I need to take the TCM off. Then I tried using this 10mm, broke instantly, and then I read this, not intended on seized hardware, which it pretty much was seized. So that's garbage. Okay, crisis averted. Someone was able to let me use a 10mm socket, so we can still get this off. Okay, and there we go. It is out. So hopefully this fixes our transmission issue. We'll find out. And now I'm sitting inside a dirty ass car because it is pouring. Absolutely, I'm drenched. Hopefully it stops soon. Okay, and it looks like the rain's slowing down, so let's get back to it. So I did find another car with a TCM in it down there. The issue is I gave that guy the 10mm socket because it started raining and he was leaving. So now I gotta go on the hunt and look around and see if I find one on the ground maybe. Okay, so we're just gonna walk up to the front and ask them. I'm sure they got a 10mm somewhere. Seriously, sometimes you're really nice people. They didn't have one up front. They said they'd be good luck finding a 10mm in their little bucket bin. But I talked to the guy, Marty, asked him if he had, you know, a 10mm, and I'm like, you know, I drove an hour out here, and so he just gave it to me. He's like, I've been in the same situation, so shout out to Marty. You really helped me out. I'm able to get this out now. All right, and we've hit our goal of 2 TCMs. that was a workout, but we got both of them, so we're gonna head out now and put them in. Well, I didn't realize, but look how much newer this one looks compared to these two. Well, we're gonna stick with them anyway, and yeah, hopefully something works here. TCM isn't sitting flush to the transmission, so what I learned is that we're gonna have to turn the gears inside the transmission there to where that this will sit flush and the gears will be in there properly. All right, let's see if we can turn. I can't get this to sit flush to get these bolts in. Like, it looks fine down here, but then it's not going in. I don't know. So we put a message on Facebook asking for people's help if they knew what to do. And they said, you gotta wiggle it as you put the transmission in. So we're gonna give it a shot. It worked. It worked, look. Flush there. Flush there. No way. It just goes to show sometimes you gotta ask for help. So I'm glad we got that far. We're gonna put these bolts in, get the airbox in, do the relearn, and hopefully we got a driving car and we have reverse. Okay, bolts are going in. Last one is going down at the bottom. I did read that you're supposed to torque these kind of like a tire. We tighten one a little bit, tighten one, opposite of it, go around in rotation until they're all finally tight doing that. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, our TCM is now in. Time for rest of the assembly. We're gonna do the adaptive relearn on the clutch, fire up and see what happens. I wasn't even gonna bring out the laptop or the OBD link, thinking if I didn't get it put in, figure out how to get that TCM in, it wouldn't really matter. But I figured if I brought this out, it'd be good luck because it'd be putting it on the atmosphere that I was gonna get it figured out, and I did. So bringing that out here worked, and now it's time to use it. All right, guys, we're in the car. Let's see what happens. I mean, what's the worst that can happen, right? Okay, now it looks like we're up to operating temperature, so we are good to go. Let's run it. All right, guys, this is the moment of truth. Oh, still have the same error. All right, guys, it is time for round 2, putting the second TCM in here and seeing if, you know, that works. You know, maybe the first one we put in was a faulty TCM, you know, we got from junkyard, which is why I got 2, to make sure that hopefully out of the 2, or actually out of the 3, counting the one that came out of the car, out of 3 TCMs, 1 hopefully should be good, you know, and then after that I feel more comfortable moving on to maybe doing the clutches and the forks. All right, got that one out. Okay, so I just realized that we don't have our O-rings on here. I went to go swap them out and realized that they are not in the car. But what's weirder is sometimes when you take the TCM out, they get stuck in the holes there, but there's no O-rings in there. Okay, so I found one O-ring right here, but where's the other one? I don't know, this is really, really weird, guys. There it is. Wow. I thought I was losing my mind there for a second. All right, cool. Let's go put these on the TCM. Let's go put the new one in. We got our O-rings on. Let's see what happens. All right. Let's plug the laptop in. I think it's safe to say if this does not work, we're gonna be looking at a clutch replacement here, which I'm really hoping is not the case, because even if you buy the clutch and do it yourself, it's still like over $600 for the clutch and the forks. We're about to find out. All right, guys, here we go. Close. Yep. Same damn thing. It looks like we're putting a clutch in this car. Well, unfortunately, all the things that we tried did not work. We were not successful in getting this reverse issue on the transmission fixed. So, as I said before, if all of this didn't work, we'd be looking at a clutch replacement, which is exactly what I think we're looking at now. So, that's what we're going to do next. But that's it for this episode. The next episode, we're going to continue to work on this Ford Focus. So, we will see you next episode.